like those of our sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Wednesday episode of Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you as always by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartell, and like every Wednesday, we're also joined by our boy Scotty Mentor. Scotty, how we doing today?
I'm great, man. I'm hatless today, but I'm great.
Yeah, me and Dave were talking. It's actually easier on Dave when you don't wear a hat. Those headphones tend to stay on your head a little bit easier when you're would you call it bareheaded?
I said hatless. But,
Hatless?
Yeah, but yeah. I guess it's always good to change things.
I
up
know.
too.
You never do. I don't, because my hair is thinning and I don't want to show that on national streaming. So
Well,
I'm always in a hat because I'm 30 years old and balding.
you gotta do what you
You
gotta,
gotta do what
but-
you gotta do. But I'm always in a different hat, so that's good. So I still change things up.
Update the hat collection.
Yeah,
Um,
you can never. That's one rule I definitely live by: is you can never have too many hats.
Mm-mm. My mom thinks something else. But on that note, before we do anything, I want to address the fact that we promoted that Steve Boyle was going to be featured on the show today from Howland Football. Unfortunately, he got caught up on the field, could not make our scheduled interview time before the show, so we will aim to get Steve Boyle from Howland next week, as he was unable to reach us here today before the show. So Steve Boyle, unfortunately, we'll reschedule him, but we'll still hit up Howland Football, and hopefully we can get that taken care of next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And Howland's still a team that's going to be exciting to look at this year. A lot of young talent. You got a quarterback returning for his junior year who got some significant starting time last year too, and John Perry. So it'll be an exciting discussion and segment, I think, with Howland Tigers football coach Steve Boyle.
Last year, they definitely had an identity, and it was run the ball, run it hard, and they had a great tandem back there behind in the backfield. So I imagine that they're going to be a run-first team again this year.
You would think so. But it'll be interesting to talk with Coach Boyle and see what they have cooking up over there in Warren.
Tomorrow, we'll still have two coaches on the show for you. We'll have John Bayek from Struthers and Joe Simon from Liberty to come on and preview their football seasons tomorrow. So not slowing down, just a little hiccup on this Wednesday hump day as far as the coaches' previews go, but we are still in full gear, starting to get ready and do that headfirst dive into fall sports.
Yeah, and we're excited for it. Absolutely. Get a little bit of NE8 preview, and we get to continue our previews in the MVAC Grace tier.
Scotty, are you?
Go ahead, Anthony.
I was going to ask you if you're ready for fall sports. What are you most excited about?
I'm definitely ready. I don't want to rush summer away, but the ironic thing is the high school season gets underway, and we still got quite a bit of summer because it doesn't officially end till like the end of September. But I mean, the obvious answer is, I mean, you can't get excited enough, in my opinion, about high school football. So that's really going to be exciting. Am I off base? Do you guys remember? Is this the first year it's starting this early? Because I see Jackson Milton is set to take on Latonia, and that's August the 18th. It seems very early.
It had to start this early last year too, right? Because it was
Yeah, I believe it was last year that it started this early too. They started it back a week early because the year before we had that weird 6-game 2020 season. So yeah, this is gonna be the second year of it starting this early, and it's been kind of a hot topic discussion post because like 18th and 19th is the opening week now. I mean, we're talking right smack dab in the middle of August now that we're starting football season.
There's a reason why there's a movie about the dog days of August, because it gets hot in the middle of that month. These teams are going to have to, especially the first couple of weeks, these non-conference schedules, going to have to balance a little bit more of that heat, just 1 week more of that heat in August.
Do you guys, like, obviously we love all sports or we wouldn't be doing this, but do you guys, like, kind of feel in the back of your mind, like, it creeps up on you, like, I don't know if I'm ready, or do you like kicking it off this early now that it's going to be 2 years in a row kicking off this early?
No, for YSN, baseball takes us pretty much right into it. So there's like, we just did our last Class B game on Monday. So I think that pretty much wraps up our baseball coverage as far as live games on the network go. But, here we are right into it, almost 2 Fridays away from starting the high school football season. So not a lot of rest for the weary.
Yeah. When football season starts, it is like bam, bam, bam. It is insanity every week.
It's a machine.
Do you guys have, I mean, we'll talk about this a lot more as it approaches, but as far as matchups go, the first week, does one like pop out at you, stick out more than another one?
Biased, but Springfield South Range. I mean, it's the rivalry. It's the rivalry I grew up with. It's the one that last year everyone was clamoring for because the year before we didn't get it, and that's the one that pops in week one. It never used to be week one when we used to play them in high school. It used to be, you end the season with Springfield, but now here it is, week one. You kick off the season with now non-conference Springfield, and that's the one for me. Ty, what about you?
Obviously, I'm going to be excited to do opening week when Foothill from Nevada comes into Fitch. I think that's going to be fun. But I'm also excited for some other ones. August 18th, it's a Thursday, opening up Brookfield and Ursuline. I think is going to be a sneaky good matchup because I think Ursuline going to be trying to figure out different ways to win now without some of those seniors from last year's class. Brookfield always has a solid offensive and defensive line up front, so they're always going to be battling in the trenches. I think that's going to be an interesting week one matchup, and it happens to kick off right on that Thursday, too. One of the few Thursday matchups we'll have,
I don't know if Brookfield expected that to be a D3 versus D6 matchup when they scheduled it. Remember, a couple weeks ago, Ursuline was one of only 2 teams in the OHSAA that had to adjust their initial movement in the divisions because of a clerical error or a enrollment number error. So now, instead of Ursuline being D4, they're D3. So a lot of points to get just for playing that game for Brookfield. But imagine
I was going to say that only favors Brookfield.
If they won that game, it's like, geez, you have to win like 2 more and you're in the playoffs.
That's for the Thursday matchup. But like I said that the Fitch and Foothill is going to be fun. But for the all YSN, how do you not get excited? Like I said, West Branch Canfield, week 1, August 19th, Judah Shields, Brock Lowry, like that's premier matchup right there. Week 1 of the season, non-conference, but it's a great non-conference matchup.
What about Salem Crestview?
I mean, that's going to be an interesting one too. I mean, that's a dark horse matchup that could be a game of the night, honestly.
Then we have oh geez, it just went right on. Oh, what Scotty brought up, Latonia and Jackson Milton. Going to be a competitive game. 2 teams trying to get a foothold, trying to kind of regain excellence that they had 2 years ago. Took maybe a quote unquote down step from last year to 2 years ago, and now trying to kind of get back to where their program was trending.
Well,
Definitely.
it'll be my first time in 2 years. DJ announced on the show last week. I think it was at the start of Power Hour that I will be with the team again this year for the high school football coverage on Friday nights.
Yeah,
So
you're going to come down to Audible Call, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm very excited after missing last year, and I don't know, maybe if teams like know I'm gonna be a part of the coverage now, maybe that gives them the extra boost they need.
Maybe I think it'll give Mike Ackelson a boost to one up his game because now he knows some real professionals that'll be in the room.
Here's
The rest of the room is just a bunch of jackamos.
Well,
Scotty brings
that's very kind.
Scotty-
I try.
Scotty
Anthony,
brings
I
his
try.
trailer. Scotty brings the professionalism.
But
I tell you.
all the band kidding aside, I wanted to know for you guys, like, what do you think about the first game you brought up, Anthony? And I know you're very excited because it's your alma mater, but I think another intriguing element is this is Springfield's first go around without Bo Brungard in a while. So how do you see that? What are your guys' thoughts on the quarterback position and how they're gonna look in the post Brungard era now
Well,
at
it's-
Springfield?
Unfortunately for Springfield, it's not just Brungard. They lost a lot of pieces, a lot of that senior class that was really important to their success. But South Range lost a big chunk of really special people too. So I think both teams are going to be looking to kind of prove that their program's still at that spot where they can replace guys because Yigby's been doing it for a while. So is Guerrero. They've had great seniors leave the program, so they know how to kind of. I don't want to say rebuild. I'd rather say reload. So it's going to be two teams that might look a little bit different, but the culture is still there, and the tenacity is still going to be there. So it should still be a very good football game.
It's one I'm really excited.
You got to be
for.
excited for Lowville. Your alma mater, looking pretty good this year.
Yeah, I am pretty excited for the Rockets. I really think they could have a special year. So I just would like to, and I would like to see, especially at the skill positions, but even the offense and even more so the defensive line. I want to see, what they trot out there and whether or not they're able to consistently get pressure on the opposing teams. That's something I'll really be watching out for, looking at the defense this year.
And remember, one of the things that hurt Springfield in this matchup last year was it was the first game with a kind of new offensive line. Those first three games for Springfield were trying to figure out the offensive line and working as a unit. And then after they got through that, it was gold, it was sunshine and rainbows. Remember that Brookfield game they had to win in last seconds of the game against Brookfield in week 2 after falling to South Range. But the problem, Bo Brungard was having to run for his life because the offensive line just wasn't there yet. It was a pretty new offensive line plugging in pieces. Now a lot of that offensive line is back again, and a lot of them that had to plug in last year are back as a unit. So that might not be a problem for as much of a problem for them this year against South Range. So might even the ground.
Like I said too, Coach Guerrero 101 and 51 career wise with Springfield. Like he's got a program that knows how to win football games. They've been able to consistently be able to just get guys in there too. They, like you said, they had a little bit of a lapse earlier on too, but they've been pretty consistent in just producing solid football teams. And I expect much of the same this year. They might not be the 10-0 Tigers that we've seen in years before, having one of those seasons, but by the time that tournament rolls around, I expect Springfield to be more than ready to make a run.
Last year, they lost to South Range. They almost lost to Brookfield, but then they stomped Geneva. I think that was the game where we both knew, okay, they got it figured out now. And everyone else on the rest of their schedule was in trouble. And they were.
I'll tell you what, there's another great matchup too on Thursday, August 18th. How do you not get excited about Cheney going to Poland? Like that's a great hard-hitting matchup with the talent that's returning for both Cheney and some of the talent with Poland. Obviously, Poland loses a few big pieces, but they still have some key defenders too. And we know what Poland's defense has always brought to the table: size, strength, and toughness. And that's exactly what we see on the other side with Cheney. And this has kind of become a rivalry we've seen in a different amount of sports since Cheney's come back athletically.
Yeah, and it's going to be a healthy Cheney Cowboys team, which is a big difference.
Jason Hewlett is a difference maker when he is healthy, and losing him early on last season did hurt the Cowboys. I think if he plays a full season, the production that he can make will be felt and seen on the field starting week 1.
All right, that's going to be fun. We'll talk a little bit more about the upcoming fall season a little bit later. But first, Ty, let's get to some recaps on the action that did happen last night. There was still more Little League games to be played, baseball and softball. And we'll start with the baseball side because, Ty, you have made it clear that you like to start with the unfortunate news when we have these kind of situations where we have to say goodbye to seasons. And unfortunately, Boardman Baseball dropped their elimination game to North Canton, and they will be eliminated from the state tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a great season nonetheless for Boardman too, and you wish the best of luck to all those kids, and hopefully they stick it out with the sport, and we'll be able to see a lot of those names and faces in some upcoming teams as well.
Final score for that game was 8-4, despite Boardman out hitting North Canton 13-12. And Ricky Gozer took the loss for Boardman on the mound. Some big bats in the lineup for Boardman. We had Gavin Setner. He hit a home run on the day, and he also knocked in a couple runs. Chase Willis had a great day at the plate. Dom Italiano, they all managed multiple hits. Setner went 3 for 3 at the plate to lead. Boardman didn't commit a single error either, so they had a good defensive effort. Just fell short to North Canton in a rematch of a game that they won earlier in the state tournament. Canfield baseball, Ty, they were in an elimination game as well, and this was a great, just classic game. It was incredible. Canfield was down most of the game 2-0. They came back, took a 3-2 lead, and then let's see, later on, Hamilton tied up the game at 3 to go to extras, and then eventually in 8 innings, Hamilton won 4-3. So Canfield's comeback falls just short.
And it's baseball sometimes. Sometimes they get thwarted like that, but still, nonetheless, a great season and a heck of a way to go down fighting for the Cards.
Reminded me a little of like that Ursuline regional game in the softball diamond in the high school season. It kept going back and forth, but the other team just would never kind of stop coming. And even though Canfield came back, they took a lead, they forced extras. That team from Hamilton just would not stop chipping away and chipping, putting pressure on. And eventually Hamilton scored a run in the top of the 8th and then held Canfield down in the bottom for that 4-3 win.
Yeah, and I mean that's how it goes sometimes, right? That's just how it goes. I mean, sometimes the storybook ending doesn't fall in your favor, but you wish the best of luck to the team that moves on, and you say congratulations on a great season, and hopefully we'll be able to see them back at that stage, all those players in some form or capacity.
Scotty, we talked earlier when we were doing Little League districts about the joy that these kids have when they win a championship. Obviously, the flip side of that is the heartbreak that happens when they see their summers end. What kind of things do you think these baseball teams can use to kind of build in their future? Like Ty said, a couple years from now, they're still going to be on these high school teams that we cover. So they have a bright future ahead of them. They have to use this experience to mold them. What things do you think they can take away from it?
I think that they can, even though it was a heartbreaker and they lost the lead late in the game, just the fact that they were in it and they were right there. I think short term it hurts when you lose. It hurts no matter what, but I think it hurts even more when you lose a close one by a run. like they did. That stings a little bit more, but I think it also it kind of is I think in a lot of ways it has to make you feel good because it shows them that they really were right there, and you would think like if they really work at it, they're only gonna get even better. So sometimes things like this happen, and you don't see the fruits. Fruits don't necessarily bear right away from it, but I think a couple years down the line, this could be like one of those situations where it's kind of like almost a blessing in disguise
And
for
remember,
him.
these are 11U kids and 10U kids, so they still have chances in the Little League system to go and win state. And then for the 12-year-old kids that are going to be coming back for 12U tomorrow, they'll have a chance tomorrow, next year. Not tomorrow. They don't turn 12 in one day. Boom, you're 12. They'll have a chance to come back next year, be on that 12U team, which not only has a chance to fight for a state championship, but has a chance to fight for the regionals and then go to the Little League World Series. So a lot to look forward to for these kids, not just in their high school future and down the road, but even next year they have more to give to this Little League program.
I mean that's the biggest thing, and why we've seen talent levels from young players so young now, and I mean that's the beautiful thing, is that they're able to be productive at such young ages, and it pays so much dividends for them going forward. And I mean, credit to the coaches. Like I said, all these Little League coaches do a phenomenal job of developing players while also maintaining a fun environment for these kids that makes them want to keep coming back and makes them want to keep participating. So I think we have some great coaching, and I think a lot of credit goes to the coaches for not only developing these players, but making them find a love for the sport.
Yeah, and that's we've talked at length about the youth coaches in our area and how good they are, and no different to the coaches that led their teams this far. So we congratulate Boardman's 11U team and Canfield's 10U team on an incredible summer, an incredible run, and we wish them the best of luck in their future endeavors as they move on into their baseball career into the next level of the sport. Ty had a Little League softball game go on yesterday as well, and here we go. Poland gets the win over Willersburg, and they set up a 6th matchup of the summer and a fourth matchup of district/state with Austintown. Everything on the line this time. State championship. There's no bigger level. You don't go to regionals after state and 10U. This is it. This is the big trophy. Everything on the line. Winner take all. Poland versus Austintown.
Part six too, and Poland has one more chance to grab that brass ring from Austintown.
It is episode 6, Return of the Bulldogs, Scotty.
Return of the Bulldogs. I like it.
Now, Scotty, in case you weren't tuned in or anything in days past, Austintown and Poland 10U softball. They've played each other coming into yesterday. They played each other 5 times this summer. They played each other in the opening round of the district tournament. Played each other in the district championship. Played each other twice in an all-star weekend between districts and state, and now they're going to play each other for the second time in this state championship run. So that's 6 total times these two teams have met up in the summer. And so far, Austintown is 5-0, but all games have been right there. And the closest one was that last game on Monday where Austintown won on a walk-off 5-4. So Poland keeps getting closer and closer, and it makes the game tonight even that more intriguing to talk about when you think this is the 6th. Can you imagine playing a team 6 times in one summer? And this is it. This is, even if we go 1-5, we win this one game. If you're Poland, that's all that matters.
Yeah. I mean, you have to feel pretty good if you're Poland, right? Eventually you keep, knocking at the door.
Right.
You gotta kick it down. Like they've been so. If they've been as close as you've said, all they got to do. It's crazy that they could go 1-5, and be everything could be roses for
Right. They
them.
won the one that matters the most. That's
Yeah.
all. If this was a series, Austin Town would have won it a long time ago. But it's not a series. It's just, hey, here's a winner take all.
So, because the games have been so close, I'm just wondering, because you guys have followed this really closely. What do you think, like, the biggest, based off these first 5 games too, what do you think the biggest key is for the teams going into this 6 game?
I'd hate to put so much weight on one player, but every game it feels like Mila Hamley ends up being a difference maker. And it's like, Poland, you just don't have Mila Hamley. And like, that's, what do you say to that? Like, you just don't have that player. And she no-hit them in the first game in the districts. It was 3-0. Close game, but once again, like, dominating pitching. Started to see her a little bit better in that district championship game. A couple of hits, couple of runs. Definitely saw her well over the summer. In the summer all-star tournaments, got shut out a couple of times. And then in this last game, in the what I call the winners bracket championship, they saw her really well. Scored 4 runs against 2 pitchers, Mike Cassell and Hamley. Eventually, there are no secrets now for Mila Hamley. You know exactly what she's bringing. You know exactly what's going to come. You just got to go execute. It's fun.
Yeah, and man, this is the type of stuff you can almost make it like a movie out of this.
Well, hey, we're gonna have EB on the show tomorrow to fill in for Ty, but it'd be fun to ask him, like, from a Salem perspective, what if they had to play one team like 4 times in a basketball season, and the 4th time was the most important one, and they were 0-3 going into that game? Like, what's the mindset going into it? Obviously in basketball, it would be the same situation. It doesn't matter that you lost the last 3. This one's the one that matters the most. This is the district championship. This is the regional championship, whatever it might be. What's the mindset? Like, hey, we've been close. We're right there. Let's go make the difference makers. And then what's the mindset on the flip side? What's Austin Town's mindset right now? Like, they're 5-0 against this Poland team, but they still can't relax because they're 5-0. They have to come in and just say, let's go 6-0. Let's beat this team one more time, right?
You don't want to go in with some sort of overconfidence either if you're Austin Town, because, Poland keeps on testing them every single time.
It's like Poland's like that bad penny that Austin Town can't get rid of.
Keeps on showing up, tails up.
Haven't we beaten you before? But when you look at Austin Town, they could go 5-1 against this team and still lose the state championship.
Yeah, like,
that's tough to swallow.
I don't know. Does it feel to you guys, even though, they still gotta, their confidence has to be pretty high, beating Poland every time, but does it feel that, like, to you guys, because Poland has been so close, and like we talked about, they only got to win one, does it feel like all the pressure's almost on the Falcons?
I feel like right now, Ty, you can have a different opinion if you want. I feel like the pressure right now is on Austin Town because they have won 5 times, and I'm sure a lot of people are looking at this from the outside saying, you should win this game. You've already beat them 5 times. Come on. But they know, and people from the outside should know by now, Poland is good enough to beat Austin Town. So they have to make sure not to come in with that mindset. But they have all the pressure because they're the ones that have been dominating this matchup all summer.
Poland's going to do what they've done the last few matchups, throw everything that they got at the wall and just hope that they come out on top again. They've been so close every other time out. Good teams are able to do exactly what Poland's done, is just keep clawing their way back to the moment, to this moment, and great teams are able to finish it out on either side. Poland able to finish it out, claw their way back, and finally complete it. That's what great teams are able to do. Great teams are also able to keep the trend going and keep the expectations where they need to be. So the expectation is Austintown keeps that trend, goes 6-0 in the matchup. Great teams are able to do exactly what they need to do, go out there, perform like they've done before, and get out and get another victory. It's going to be interesting to see.
Here's how the last game went. This was the Winners Bracket Championship on Monday. Poland took a 1-0 lead in the first, and then in the top of the third scored 2 more. So they had a 3-0 lead. And then Austintown scored 3 in the bottom of this third, right after Poland took that 3-0 lead. Then they went all the way scoreless until it went into extras. Poland took a lead again in the top of the 7th. So they were up 4-3. Austintown comes back, scores 2 to walk it off. That's how they won the Winners Bracket Championship.
Wow, that's what a way to win it.
That's what I call a roller coaster, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that is the true definition of a roller coaster.
Like I said, for Austintown, Hamley, only 1 for 4, but big 1 for 4 with 2 RBI on the day. And then she pitched lights out. She gave up no hits in 5 innings, 3 walks, 14 strikeouts. Mike Ysn came in and threw 3 hits shutout, gave up 1 walk and 7 runs. Now, the 3 runs that they scored on Mike Ysn were unearned. So, maybe that's one of the, you look at the errors. Austintown had 3, Poland had 2. So one of those games where Austintown's defense wasn't exactly the cleanest. Mike Ysn had, like I said, the runs were all unearned. Even the run in the top of the 7th was unearned. So no earned runs. In fact, I don't know how the score doesn't charge any of the pitchers with the 4th run. They have Mike Ysn charged with the 3 runs, and the 4th run's uncharged. So I don't know if they charge. I imagine they charged that to Hamley. If Mike Ysn had the other 3, Hamley probably came in after the 3rd, pitched the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Pitched the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and probably was charged with that 1 run, but it was unearned. So all of Poland's runs.
Did they go into extras though?
They did, because Little League.
Do they do international tiebreaker rules and extras? Does that runner unearned at second base then? That just starts at second base?
They do international tiebreaker, but I don't know if that run equals an unearned run. If it's
I feel like it just doesn't get charged to anybody because they didn't allow them on base technically, right? It's just a runner that starts. I don't know if they would charge that to the pitcher or not.
Let's look and see if they charge.
Poland did score a run in the extra innings, did they not?
Yeah, you're right, because only 4 runs are charged to Poland pitchers. So that 5th run, which was, I'm guessing, the first run scored in extras, doesn't get charged to anybody because you start with a runner on second. So you're not responsible.
It has to be what it is. That has to be the case. Yeah.
So that we just figured it out live on the air. There we go.
There we go. Classic.
Anyway, Austintown, Poland, round 6, episode 6, Return of the Bulldogs, or Return of the Falcons, if you want the Austintown spin on that story.
It's Revenge of the Bulldogs or Return of the Falcons.
I like that. Okay.
That's the way you got to spin it.
You like that, Scotty? Episode 6, Revenge of the Bulldogs. Episode 6, Return of the Falcons. Whichever way you're looking at it. Whichever.
That's got to be the article title, right? Whoever wins, that's the article title.
You bet it. You bet. Like, look for it tonight. Whatever it is. Episode 6.
I mean, you'll know right there, right? If it's Return of the Falcons, you know who won. If it's Revenge of the Bulldogs, you know. So I mean, look for the article title.
It
almost sounds like a Star Wars.
It is. That's where we're going. Did you know that I told Ty this, but I'm letting Scotty know that Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, was originally supposed to be called Revenge of the Jedi.
I did. It's so funny you bring that up because I just found that out like a week ago.
Mm-hmm. You can actually find posters from that movie, like from the release, that are Revenge of the Jedi, because even in the promos leading up to it, that's what the name. It was the last second name change from Revenge back to Return of the Jedi.
And not to get off the rails here, but that's actually like a lot of people say Empire Strikes Back is their favorite of the original
hands down.
trilogy.
It's the best Star Wars movie that exists, period.
Don't get me wrong, I love it. I love Empire, but Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks. I love me some Ewoks.
How that stormtrooper armor is so useless it gets knocked over by rocks. Yeah. Way to design great armor, Empire. You deserve to lose. I'm sure there's stormtroopers like, why do we even wear this armor? It's so useless. I'm getting knocked over by a rock.
Yeah.
Hurled by a teddy bear. Then you gotta wonder,
hey, come on, go easy on the Ewoks. Scotty loves the Ewoks.
Like those Ewoks must be really strong because they're getting those giant logs pulled up for that pulley system that comes down on the walker and blasts its head. So those Ewoks had to somehow lift those logs up into that tree. So they must be like massive, strong teddy bears.
Yeah, they're like ants. Like,
I know.
They don't look like they can do
they're
much.
like ants.
Really
As far as
they're all like every single one of them come in.
They're like boom, boom,
jacked.
If they had no fur, they'd just be like all muscles. Boom, boom.
They're just like bodybuilders, like all Arnold competitors.
So it was what?
So is that your favorite Star Wars movie, Return of the Jedi?
That's my favorite of the original.
Okay, what's your favorite one of all of them? I just want to gauge your fan.
I go back and forth on this like literally every day.
Real quick, and then we'll get to our.
I know people panic, but it's. I love Phantom Menace, man. It's either Phantom Menace or the last one, which was The Rise of Skywalker. It's a toss-up between those.
Phantom Menace has the best. Well, okay. Phantom Menace has arguably the best lightsaber battle in the whole saga.
It's to me, it's just you see the production value in the Phantom Menace go way up. But like people hated it because they hated Jar Jar. Everyone was hating on Jar Jar.
I was not a fan of Jar Jar. It didn't ruin the movie for me. I'll just go that for like he was annoying, but it wasn't like over the top where I was like, this movie sucks because he's in it. But we are way off. Like that this may turn into a Star Wars podcast, and we keep going. At times we sit there like, shut up, you nerds.
So I'm just letting you guys go.
All right, so Ty, before we take our first break and get ready for Brian Tolnar, we do have to talk about the softball game that is happening tonight in the regionals for the Little League World Series. The Boardman team from Ohio is going to officially play Illinois tonight at 7 o'clock, and the winner will move on in the regional bracket. It is Boardstown, Illinois versus Boardman, Ohio.
Scotty, I know your eyes are going to be super glued to that TV as Boardman going to be representing the entire state of Ohio and representing us locally as well going into this Little League World Series in the softball scene.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to be a treat. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see what happens. Get your popcorn ready, as T.O. would say.
Yep, ESPN Plus, 7 o'clock, Boardman versus Illinois. Winner goes to the next round of the regionals. I believe it'd be the semifinals. Straight to the semifinals if you want. I'll check the bracket to confirm that. But I believe winner goes straight to the semifinals of this Little League regional bracket. Yep, winner goes. Winner goes straight to the semis. Loser still alive because this is a winner's bracket game. Yesterday, Illinois beat Wisconsin, and it was a 9-1 victory for Illinois, one of the more lopsided wins of this regional so far. I promised you a scouting report, Ty. I'll bring it. Chloe Kearns, great pitcher. I think every time you're going to play someone in this regional, you're going to see really good pitching. That's been the theme so far. Good rise ball, goes outside to the right-handed hitters a lot. Her strikeout pitch, high and outside, that rise ball that they're going to see a lot, which they saw a lot from Black against the team from Kentucky. So they should be used to seeing that rise ball, trying to read it. She's struck out 26 hitters in 2 games so far in this regional against Nebraska and Wisconsin. 15 strikeouts yesterday against Wisconsin, 11 against Nebraska in the first round for them. So she's a dominant pitcher. Boardman's offense is going to have to do the same thing. Get people on, get people over, and scratch across runs when they can. As far as Illinois' offense go, we saw Kentucky. They had the power. They had the home run leader of the East region who hit 37 home runs in a home run derby. Illinois is more small ball. They are fast as all get out. They have some lefty slappers in there too. They are looking to get on base, steal, and go on any type of pass ball, wild pitch they can. They had a player get on base from a walk, steal second, steal / advance to third. The ball was like bobbled by the catcher, and it was enough to get to third, and then come home on a wild pitch. So she walked and then got home without a hit. So they are fast. They are aggressive on the base pass. They will turn doubles into triples like this. So they're going to be looking to use that speed and try to get on base that way. Not exactly the extra base power gap hitters that we saw from Kentucky.
No, but I mean that's also going to pay a new whole set of challenges now for Boardman. They're going to have to figure out different ways to try to beat Illinois because it's a different mindset and a different culture that they have built over there, and different ways they have to win, which they've been able to build throughout this entire season.
Defense is going to be on point for Boardman. They have to be because there's going to be so much speed on the base pass. So little bobbles, if you let the ball get that second bounce, it's just going to be way too much to get the speed. So keys for tonight for Boardman, in the circle, they got to be just as dominant as they were, and then their defense has to be locked down. And on the offensive side of things, get runners on, get runners over, scratch runs across when you can. Produce runs. Don't try to go up there and mash runs in or force runs in with the bat. Do the small things and make sure you're good at run production.
Do you guys find it more refreshing that Boardman's almost kind of like not a typical? They don't do things in the typical way. They're kind of almost like a throwback when it comes to baseball. How they, try to just scratch runs across like pesky. It just seems like to me a lot of teams. It's not that they're home run or bust, but sometimes small ball is forgotten about.
Especially in softball, like small ball is the key to that game. The field is smaller. You got speed. You got left-handed slappers. You got to be able to play small ball and use speed in the game of softball. You cannot have a lineup that is just built with nothing but power hitters. You will not survive. So Boardman does that really well. But they also have some power. Don't forget Mia Dubel hit a grand slam in that district championship game against Canfield. So they definitely have some power in those bats. Taylor Watts can bop for days, and Addie Rudge has a lot of bop in her bat too. So they got some players in that lineup that can really hit the ball hard and drive it out of the ballpark. So we're gonna keep a close eye on Boardman. We wish them the best of luck tonight against Illinois, and we hope they pull off another victory. Wednesday. Oh, I should say Wednesday. It is tonight. Tonight at 7, ESPN Plus. That's where you can find that game and all the games of the Little League Softball Regionals.
Let's go, Spartans.
Let's go. We had them on the show yesterday. They're a fun group of girls that are very excited to be in this situation, and we wish them, once again, the best of luck. We're going to take our first break of the day. When we get back, we'll have a little bit of time to get ready for Brian Tolnar and his weekly segment on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney.
On air, online, a Wednesday afternoon weather update,
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
As fine as the eye can see, the finest hardwoods from the finest trees. Made for your home and within your means, Baird Brothers will help fulfill your dreams. Let life and light come shining through in quiet morns. And heavy traffic, too. Find your easy-to-afford fine hardwood floors and doors and more at BairdBrothers.com.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
For a great vehicle and a great experience, come to Boardman Mitsubishi today. As always, our full lineup of Mitsubishi models comes with a standard 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Boardman Mitsubishi, your hometown Mitsubishi dealer since 1999.
Now you can see every school, to the smallest school, to the intermediate schools, to the schools in the outlying areas. It gives you coverage that you could just never get to before. It's something that's great to experience, and it's opened up a whole new wave of sports viewership. The possibilities are endless here at YSN. Push the envelope every day. Try something new. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, let's try another angle, and we just keep moving forward. My name is Mike Ackelson, and my sports network is your sports network.
Reliability, innovation, scale. These three values are those we look forward to in our business and in our team. If you're ready for a reliable employer who looks constantly to think outside the box in big ways, we're ready for you. Apply now. Help us push the envelope and deliver success. Envelope 1. Take that one extra step.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists, located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Jimmy Sutton here, Director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and two of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. As always, I'm Anthony Hartwig, and I am joined, as always, by Ty Bartell, and also in the studio today, Scotty Medler. Scotty, we doing good in that captain seat?
Yeah, we're doing good. I'm feeling like borderline cocky today. Because I'm feeling pretty good about my matchup with Ty today. I know you've been ducking me, Ty. You've been ducking me because I'm gaining up on you, but be prepared, my friend.
Scotty's only down 3.
Scotty's heated. Scotty's trying to come back from this and get a win.
I know, Scotty. You're confident?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident today. I have one that I think is a surefire lock to stump Ty.
We'll have that trivia segment in a little bit after Brian Tolnar comes on at 1:00. One of the things I want to reiterate before we go further is that we promoted Steve Boyle would be on the show today from Holland. Because he got caught up on the field today at practice, he was unable to reach us in time. So we will get Steve Boyle next week. Try again, and we'll get right back to Howland. We're excited for Howland football. We're excited for that preview. But I just wanted to, if people were trying to tune in to see when we were going to put on Steve Boyle, we're going to get to him next week. He unfortunately had to reschedule today.
Yeah, and I mean, just what we expect from football coaches. Sometimes these practices are going on all the time, too. They get caught up on the field, too, and sometimes time can get away from them. But we'll still look to get Howland previewed for football
There
this season.
are much more important places for coaches to be than on our show. So we always, hey, if you have to be on the field for a little bit longer, don't cut that off to be on our show. We are not the end all be all of your life as a coach. So we appreciate his time as always, and we're going to try to hit him up for next week. But tomorrow we are going to have John Bayek from Struthers on at 1:00 and Joe Simon from Liberty Football on right after him at 1:15 to talk a little Struthers and Leopards, Liberty Leopards football. Two big cats, the Wildcats and Leopards.
Yeah. Who do you like? I don't know. Like, there's a lot of teams with the nickname Wildcats.
Wildcats, yep.
Not as many Leopards, but
We have 2 Leopards. We have a lot of cats. We have 2 Leopards. We have we have some Tigers. We have Wildcats. So we have a lion. A lot of cats.
Yeah, lions, tigers, wildcats, leopards.
And bears, oh my.
We do have a bear.
I wonder if there's any. I'm sure there is somewhere, but I wonder if, like, certain schools, if they have the name Cheetah, since they're the fastest animal.
I've actually I don't know any colleges that are named the Cheetahs. I don't know any high schools that are named the Cheetahs. Or obviously I don't think there's any professional teams named the Cheetahs. We played a travel ball game against a travel organization that was named the Cheetah Fast Pitch, but I've never seen, like, Ty, can you think of any high school, colleges, teams that are named the Cheetahs?
I
guess,
man, that's tough.
They don't want to walk right into that trap of being a cheetah. You're cheating.
Yeah, there you go. I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's.
I wonder why. Like, there's a Jaguars, there's Lions, there's Wildcats, there's Bobcats, there's Tigers. They've hit like every cat of the animal kingdom. Panthers. No love for the Cheetahs.
They run about 70 to 75 miles an hour.
I thought it was in the 60s, but either way, they are the fastest land mammal on the face of the earth.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought there would at least be one school
cheetahs.
You guys knew.
I can't think of any.
Well, I'm gonna start
Scotty's gonna start a high school just so he can name a team the Cheetahs.
Yeah,
the Cheetahs. Do we have any Panthers around here? We have the Perry, right?
Panther I can think of is Massillon Perry Panthers.
Yeah, I mean not under the YSN map.
Bristol.
You're right. Bristol Panthers too. That's right.
They're pretty close. I mean, they'd be if we had a coverage map instead of teams signing to us, they would be in our coverage map. So they're in WFMJ's coverage map, so you can probably find coverage of Bristol on WFMJ. But yeah, I think those are the only 2 I can think of in in the Northeast Ohio realm for Panthers.
The cats, the big cats. No cheetahs though. No cheetahs.
And I can't think of any high schools, any colleges. No love for
Nothing.
cheetahs.
I don't think there's a. I don't know if there's an American one that's named the cheetahs.
We
No,
even have a Nittany lion, mountain lion.
we do have an Nittany lion.
We're getting.
You're just. I mean, there's bobcats. There used to be.
I've never been.
There's even a lynx. Which
I was gonna say there's even the lynx.
I've never been like huge on.
Actually, I don't know if a lynx is a dog or a cat.
I think it's a cat.
It is a cat. But their logo looks almost like a dog because it's howling. No, I'm thinking of the Timberwolves new logo. I'm sorry. Scratch that.
I've never been huge on like Penn State football, being an Ohio State fan.
I know.
But I do love that sound effect of the Nittany lion, like when they get a first down. Or
it's just a roar. Is it any different than the other roars?
Yeah. I don't know.
I like the Panther sound effect that Carolina uses.
I don't think I've heard that one.
I'm not gonna embarrass myself and try to intimidate
well, that's what I was gonna say. I think I like it so much because
we're not gonna start roaring on.
I'm incapable.
Oh my God! No, please don't.
Like I'm out. Peace.
Oh man, I remember. I think there used to be a minor league team too called the Lynx as well. Baseball. I think there used to be a Lynx team in the minors. The only sport, I don't think there is an American sport that has a cheetah, because I think there's a rugby team like internationally that's called the Cheetahs, but I don't think there's an American team, college or professional sports in America, that has a cheetah as a logo. Or
do you guys have like a favorite team name, whether it's teams we cover here at YSN or just any school in the country?
For the YSN coverage map?
The favorite name or the favorite logo?
Favorite name. Because I gotta be honest, I'm not crazy about the Quakers as a name, but I love that logo.
People are about to come after Scotty hard.
That logo is fire.
Salem, we're sorry. Like advisory, we do not. Scotty's opinions do not reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation.
I gotta say,
I said the logo's fire. So
big fan of the Wyndham Bombers, both the way it sounds, the way it looks, the style. Wyndham Bombers is a great name.
You know, you don't hear this name too often, but I thought it was really when Kansas City had an arena football team, they were called the Brigade, and it was a jet. Their logo was a jet, so it was a brigade of fighter planes. I thought that was cool because you don't see Brigade a lot.
I've always been cool with the Toronto Raptors because I've always liked dinosaurs. So I always thought that the Toronto Raptor was a really cool thing.
Their old logo where they had a whole dinosaur on their logo was awesome. Now they just have the ball with the
I was so mad when they got rid of the big red raptor. That was so cool when they had the raptor on their.
That's one of the more intricate logos ever in sports. I mean, they had a whole raptor on their shorts.
It's not a school we cover, but I talked about how I love the Quaker logo, but I love the name, the tar letters, Glenville.
Glenville what?
Glenville Tarb letters.
Tarb letters?
Yeah.
I don't even know what a tarb letter is.
I don't know what it is either.
Can we Google that?
It just sounds bad.
No, I mean, Brian's gonna be coming on in like a minute, but I mean, I need.
I love I know not in our coverage map too, but Dover Tornadoes is a pretty cool one. You don't see too many tornadoes, I don't think. I love the Class B team, the Avalanche too. I like that as a name too. We see it in hockey as well with the Avalanche. Obviously, the champs in hockey, Stanley Cup champions, but the Avs, man, Avalanche. I like that name.
Uniontown Lake has the blue streak, and it's like the lightning bolt going across their name. That's pretty cool. I like lightning bolts, so.
I'm cool with G-Men too. Like Garrettsville Garfield G-Men is pretty cool.
The G-Men, going back to the FBI, it used to be called G-Men.
Yeah, I like that. I like the tie back. It's a unique name too, and you don't see too many G-Men, I don't think.
J. Edgar Hoover's G-Men.
Yeah, I did not know that, but I always thought like working for the FBI, at least like how it's portrayed on TV, would be really cool. But I'm sure it's a lot of sleepless nights.
There's actually not too many teams I could think of offhand named the Bears either. Like there's the Grizzlies, but like Latonia Bears. Like how many are just like the Bears? I don't know if they're too. I mean, well, yeah, the
Bears.
You're right.
Well, I get no. Cincinnati is the Bearcats. I've never seen a Bearcat. There's
You
another
got the
obscure
Chicago
one.
Cubs.
They go
You
Bearcat.
probably know, too. I mean, Chicago Bears too. That was the obvious one, but I can't think of like a whole ton of teams named the Bears either.
We
You got
have,
the Bears.
we have to put a T out on this team name.
The name discussion.
We got some serious stuff to talk about now because Brian Tolnar is coming on the show and to put us back on track. Brian, thank you so much as always for popping on with us this week, and we have another exciting week of golf to talk about.
Absolutely. We got a lot of action going on. We've got the greatest golfer brewing a couple weeks away. We've got high school golf, kicking off with practices, getting ready there. PGA Junior League's winding down. We've got a big cup match with Buell Park coming up here in another week or so. Just a really good time for golf. I've got some leagues winding up and some clinics winding down and getting ready for the fall.
Brian, the adult greatest golfer is coming up, and the junior greatest golfer wrapped up last week, and we had some local talent win, and some other local talent make some pretty impressive highlight type news. We had Chaz Cognac from Struthers won the boys U17 with an impressive outing, and then from Canfield, Maya Cole got the hole-in-one, which is something you don't see too often. It was a great moment that the greatest golfer camera crew got that on their social media. They got on camera. Wow, what a week of greatest golfer. When you look at the junior league and you look at these players that are going to be playing on these high school teams and the ones that won, the ones that even competed and really put together strong rounds. What were some of your takeaways?
Well, I think high school golf is strong. I think there's a real wide interest in playing, not only with the folks that played in the greatest junior over this past week for the championship of that, but I think the depth of all the junior camps and all the junior programs, the junior leagues that have gone on the last probably 5 or 6 years has really fed junior high and high school golf. So you see a lot of popularity with the sport as we move forward. So as we've seen kids develop for my first year 8 years ago in our Sandwich Factory Boys and Girls League. So now we're seeing those folks now play high school golf and get prepared to play high school golf, 8th grade going into their freshman year. I think it's going to be fantastic, as we move forward. Maya Kohal, I got the opportunity to see her dad on Monday. Canfield had a fundraiser for their 2 golf teams here, and was just elated. He was on the bag, and the picture that they have of both of them on the 18th hole at Squaw Creek when she knocked it in for a hole-in-one is absolutely priceless, and it is 100% the reason why golf's just a great game, no matter what generation that you're in, no matter what age you're in. It's just a great game that you can share, some awesome, feats of victory, whether you've won the tournament or you knocked in a hole-in-one or made an eagle. Just a neat atmosphere to be able to share with your parents. So, Josh was still on cloud 9 about that come Monday with the tournament, and I think he probably still will be the rest of the year. But that was a good one. Chase Cognac, I mean, he's played wonderfully. 2-sport athlete. He plays golf and football. Just a hell of an athlete, and has done damage on both. I mean, he's played well on the golf course and he's played well on the football field. So I mean, just a multi-sport athlete, which is really what we try to preach about the game of golf. You want to have other activities. You want to play other sports as well. You can't just have it to really streamline to one sport. I mean, your body develops with the myriad of sports and activities that you have. Basketball helps golfers, football helps golfers, soccer helps golfers build that stamina, build that muscle mass that you need. So it's great to be able to see those multi-sport athletes, being successful at a number of sports. And, the greatest junior, hats off for what Todd Franco's been able to do with that whole series all summer long to really, combine to this championship, and then moving forward into the adult version here in another week or so.
When you're talking about playing two sports in the same season, I imagine golf and football are two of the ones that really kind of fit into being able to do it, because you're not going to see a lot of overlap between the early morning football practices that they have. Golf events are either at night, or if it's a a tournament, they even get out of school early and they go and start in the afternoon. But you're not allowed not Friday night golf, so you're going to be able to see all your football games and then do your golf tournaments as well. So I imagine that of all the sports that you could try to do 2 in 1 season, that might be the easiest to try to fit into your schedule.
I think you're right on that, just because the balance of how many matches you have during the course of a week. I mean, at an average week in high school golf, you're looking at 2 matches, sometimes 3 if you have an invitational. Very limited on the weekends, but there's opportunity to play and practice on the weekends that football's not maybe playing and practicing. But to juggle those and juggle the times, I think are probably the biggest hurdle to get over from a family issue, because you're only allowed to have so many hours in practice in sports. So, I mean, juggling the golf schedule, the amount of time it takes to practice and prepare. However, you've had all summer to really get ready for the golf season, coming out of spring and running the whole gamut there. And then football really just, kicks back up right around now. So he's had a whole summer to get ready and prepare for the season. And, the juggling of the matches are probably not that big of an issue, because they are during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Seldom will you have a match on Friday unless you go to an invitational. But Friday night's a great night for football, and a nice way for, in this case, Chase to really balance what he's doing between the two sports. But I think it's excellent if you have the opportunity to do that, or the opportunity to play 3 different sports during all 3 seasons. I think that's an avenue that more athletes should really look down, as opposed to staying stationary to one sport.
Brian, I saw the post on the first annual PGA Junior League Valley Cup match. You mentioned it too, and when you came on, between Buell Park and Mill Creek Park. I just wanted to know what went into the decision to starting this, and can you provide a little bit more information on this for us as well? August 5th, I believe, is the start date.
Yep, certainly. It's this year's match will be a inaugural match just at Buell. As we head forward, the goal is to have a home match at Mill Creek and then a home match at Buell. You can either win the cup if you win the 2 matches during a normal course of the year. And in this case, we only have 1 match to offer up because of the way the season fell. But it's a great way for 2 great park systems, and we're going to call the cup the Valley Cup in honor of Shenango Valley and Mahoning Valley, and really give the kids an opportunity to play for a trophy game. The Big Ten is synonymous for having trophy games for their football series on 2 or 3 games per year. And we kind of came up with the idea of being able to do that. The folks at Buell Park, Rob Curry, Tom Roskus, the executive director at Buell, really embraced it. And we feel the same way. We think we've got the best 2 park systems in Pennsylvania and Ohio, and it would be neat to have both of our kids, since we both host a PGA Junior League team, participating against one another, just having a fun, friendly competition. They play at the little Buell course there, which is the home of the first tee, and then really to continue this on. But this marks and really kickstarts the first of many that will go across state lines and be able to play a match. Historically, our division in Youngstown is all just the public golf courses. We have 2 divisions, a public course and a private course division. It gets tough at times to be able to cross over into that private club position to do some crossover matches, and we found an avenue to really open up an opportunity in the lines of 2 parks to really work together and to have a crossover match. Now, Tam and Shannon used to be in our league. They're no longer. We may pick up a match or 2 against them going forward. But Buell seemed to be an ideal scenario with just how we aligned. I think both park systems align similar. They both have golf as a recreational opportunity, and we wanted to make something fun for the kids. So this will be our last match of the year on the 5th, next Friday, and they'll have the opportunity to play for this beautiful cup, and the kids will get medals for first and runner up, and have pizza and wings and stuff after the event concludes. But I think it's going to be a fun way for us going ahead into the future to really start something and create something new in a partnership with a fellow park system. I think is unique.
Brian, I just wanted to know, I think from you, I just wanted to know if there's anything in your time, helping out local golfers that are younger, like high schoolers or even younger than that, like the youth golfers. I just want to know if there's anything that's been the biggest positive for you in helping the youth and the local golfers around here? And is there something that you would like to see the the pros game kind of adapt? Is there anything you would like to see implemented in a pro game that you've been able to take as a positive from helping the youth golfers?
Well, I think for me, it's junior golf is personal, because if I didn't have the opportunity to learn the game of golf at like age 13, 14, I certainly wouldn't be sitting in the position that I am. So I try to do as much as I can, whether it's hosting events or running clinics and camps, working with high school teams. And we have an abundance of them here at Mill Creek, having eight teams involved plus 2 collegiate. Junior golf is the avenue for my existence professionally. So I think anytime that you have the opportunity to give back to the game that's given me a lifetime of, I would say, financial success, professional golf tournament success, and the ability to make a career at something that I really enjoy. I enjoy coming to work every single day. I love doing what I do. Obviously I have a family at home, but I mean, I could be here all day. Sometimes I am here all day, but for the most part, I really enjoy the game. So anytime that I have the opportunity to host a junior golf tournament or work with high school kids and give them the opportunity to share with them the enjoyment that I get from the game of golf. And, I don't play as much as I used to, but, seeing them enjoy the game and like the sport, and be able to continue in a sport that would continue along with their lifetime from, the moment you touch a club until you're 100 years old, I think is fabulous about the game. So we do as much as we can, and I've done as much as I can everywhere that I've been at all facilities to give kids the opportunity to play, whether it's in a free forum, whether it's in a discounted forum, much like what we have here with our family fun nights on Friday evenings. A whole family of 4 can come out and play for $25 unlimited golf after 5:30. So, giving families the opportunity to, be able to play a sport that's at times and at places can be expensive. The opportunity to come in at basically $5-6 a head with 2 carts and to go out and play and enjoy the game as much as I did as a kid growing up. I mean, when I got invited to play places, I polished my shoes the night before, cleaned my clubs, was so excited just to go play and just have an opportunity to go play at a nice facility or just any facility or any golf tournament. It was exciting for me, and you couldn't sleep all night because you were excited to go play golf and to be able to come to the golf course on a daily basis as a kid and practice on my own and have a golf professional that was there that sort of took me under his wing to say, hey, if you need help with your game, come over here, shag a couple lessons, and I'll take a peek at your swing whenever I needed it. Was awesome at zero cost. So I'm cognizant of that and making sure that is paid forward. And I think our staff is too. But our head professional and Ryan Turbo, our assistant professional, really do all that we can to really try to push kids into, whether it's the par 3 league or high school golf or the PGA Junior League team, clinics and camps throughout the course of the summer, spring, and fall. We try to do our best to work with the high school teams as much as we can here at zero cost. I coached high school golf for a number of years in Ohio, a number of years up in Western New York. And those are sports that you don't get paid a heck of a lot. And basically everything that I got paid, I really just donated back to the program in golf bags or hats or shirts or what have you. I just enjoyed doing it and giving kids an opportunity. And I think if more golf professionals, whether it be locally or regionally or in the state of Ohio, would give back, I think you would grow the game exponentially, a lot quicker and a lot faster, and have some of the successes that we've had here at Mill Creek with a great line of junior players and participants. From the professional standpoint, I'll bring up Live Golf and the PGA Tour, and it is what it is. It's to the point where if kids see those folks fighting amongst one another, it's a black eye for the sport and the game of golf. They have to come together. They have to sit at the table and either merge or join or, get together and make it so you can play both and go on from there. I think what, the PGA Tour's finding with the FedEx Cup, they've got a lot of players that are eligible that can't play, but now they're thinking about letting them play, but they can't earn points. So, it's just everybody needs to sit down at the table, and no one's been able to do that yet. The money's the money, but at the same point, just like any other sport, NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL, kids look up to how professionals play the sport, how the collegiate player plays the sport. And, if it comes down to money, you're going to burn a lot of people out and make them not like the sport and not want to play the sport. So I think it's a black eye across the board. So I think, at some point they have to come together and do what they need to do to promote and grow the game. Because right now they're kind of not doing it. But for me as a PGA professional, I really enjoy giving kids the opportunity and giving juniors the opportunity to play and seek the enjoyment that I had as a kid. So I think that that's very, very important.
Brian, we talked about the junior greatest golfer event and the winners once again. Chaz Akoniak from Struthers won the U17 boys. Dante Turner won the U14 boys. And then on the girls' side, it was Caitlin Hoover that won the U17 girls from Wilmington. And then on the U14 girls' side, it was Kate Sowers that won that championship for the greatest golfer. But now we turn our attention to the adult greatest golfer that is coming up pretty soon. And we've had a lot of big names that have come out of our area that have either graduated from local schools, graduated from Youngstown State. We know Brandon Pluchinski has done a really good job in this greatest golfer adult tournament. I want to give you the chance to preview it a little bit and what some things people should expect from the adult chapter of the greatest golfer.
Well, I think the adult chapter from top to bottom, whether you're in the scratch division or you're in the highest handicap or a senior division or ladies division, I think it's great for the sport, and I think it's great for our area. It brings a lot of people in the golfing community together, whether you're a member at a private club or you play golf at a public golf course or a municipal course like what Mill Creek is. I think, the ability to bring people together to play a sport that's a lifetime sport, I think is an awesome thing. And what Todd Franco's done with this Greatest Golfer Series, I think they're in year 14, has been fabulous for Mahoning Valley. It's been fabulous for every golfer in the Mahoning Valley, and it's been fabulous for every golf course in the Mahoning Valley because we get to showcase Mill Creek the entire day on Friday, and we'll get the second round because the field is expanded. They're playing some first rounds at away courses, which is a little bit different than they've done in the past. Normally, we've had the entire first round, and then they split up amongst the country clubs and kind of go from there. But they've grown so big that they'll have some second rounds at some different facilities and then have some second rounds at our facility come Saturday. So Mill Creek is always in that mix of the 3 rounds before you head to the Lake Club for the final on Sunday. Just a great event for the entire sport. And I think, as you look, scratch division off the top of my head, obviously Brandon Pluchinski's been a phenomenal player. I think you've got some young guns from Youngstown State that I think are going to do some damage. Brian Quadruple's been in that final and lost in the playoff and has been there going through. I see him practice on a daily basis out here. Kenny Keller, who's shot some incredible rounds all summer long and some record rounds at some facilities about a month or so ago. I think right now he's in second for the Ohio Amateur. They're scheduled to play. So, I think from top to bottom, and then the usual suspects, you've got, Scott Porter, Mike Porter, and, Josh Sarlinga. You've got a number of players that play well year in and year out. Brian Noel, John Dowden, that make that division fun to watch, as an outsider. The senior division, you got Dick Marlowe, who's been world class. Anytime that you put a competition down, he's definitely one of those people that you want on your side just because he grinds it out and he plays. So I think this year's tournament obviously will be probably the biggest field that they've ever had and will continue to grow. But I think it's going to have, if the weather cooperates, which generally that weekend, I want to say 13 out of the 14 weekends it's cooperated. It's a fun weekend for golf. It's a fun weekend for us as golf professionals at all these facilities that are encompassed in the greatest golfer to really showcase the facility, our golf course, how hard our golf superintendent Lance Bailey works on preparing the golf course and getting it ready. So they have a great experience heading into the country clubs on Saturday, and then hopefully qualifying for the Lake Club on Sunday.
All right, Brian, before we let you go, we have a brand new Tolnar's Take out of the oven. I want to play it, and we'll bring you back. We'll get your quick thoughts on it before we let you out of here.
You got it.
Hi, everybody. Brian Tolnar from Mill Creek Metro Parks, PGA Golf and Recreation Director, and welcome to this week's Golf Tip of the Week provided by Ysn. Today, we're going to talk about what we call the bump and run or the pitch and run, and it's basically a situation that we've got a lot of green to work with between ourselves and from the ball to the flag. It's going to be a low running shot. You're going to have a lot of distance to cover, but more importantly, we want to make sure that the golf ball is rolling towards the hole. It's got a very good opportunity rolling towards the hole like a putt than it does bouncing or hopping. And we've got our situation set up right here where we've got a lot of green to work with. We've got a blue flag. We've got a nice little uphill run at this blue flag, a lot of green to cover. So it's important that we make the right club selection, and it's whatever you feel the most comfortable with. This can be a 7, 8, a 9, or a pitching wedge. Again, you want something that's got low loft to it. That way we get the golf ball running, and we're not going to have that check like we normally would with a normal chip shot where it checks and holds and runs out. This one's going to have a lot of run to it. So I'm going to grab my pitching wedge for this shot and set my 9 over here. And we're going to do basically what we normally would with a normal chip shot. We're going to go from a setup perspective. My feet are going to be a little bit open. Again, this orange line represents our target line. So I'll move the ball over here. My stance is going to be a little bit left of the target. And again, we want to make sure that we're making our chip shot or pitch and run shot in this case down this target line. So my ball position can go one of two spots. Number one, it could be off that back toe line. And if we want more run and lower ball flight coming out like we have in this situation where we've got a severe uphill lie, I'm going to move the ball even further back. So I want to make sure that this golf ball comes off very low with some top spin and has a lot of release to get back to that flag. So as I set up, I would do what I normally would, open my stance. I'm going to favor my weight off the front foot. I'm going to move the ball a little bit further back. My hands are going to go ahead. And what this is allowing me to do is, number one, it's closing the face down a little bit. So we're decreasing some loft to get that run up towards the hole. And most importantly, my hands are ahead. So that weight's on that front foot. So as I take my practice shots, I'm going to think of, I want this club to hug the ground as low as possible. I'm not coming up like a normal pitch shot or normal chip shot, which I would finish about knee height. It's going to be a lot lower, a lot more compact to the ground, and finish somewhere right there. So it's going to be kneecap to kneecap, just like a chipping shot, but we want to keep it a little bit lower to the ground, and I want that ball further back in my stance. Again, you want to pick a spot maybe a third of the way there and let it roll the other 2/4, and then we're going to be good to go. So hands ahead. We've got our setup. I've got my ball position back. I've got my feet a little bit left of the target. My hands are ahead. And again, we want to finish nice and low. So we've got a lot of run coming up there. Again, the ball's going to come off low and it's going to come off running. So back and through. And that's really what we're looking for when we're trying to hit the shot. So our goal is to get it within that 8-foot circle. That way we have a 4-foot putt. And if we do that, we're going to give ourselves an opportunity, number one, to roll and release the ball to the hole so it's not hopping, so it has a good likelihood to go in. But most importantly, we want to keep the weight on that front foot, and we want to finish nice and low. For more tips like this, please contact us at Mill Creek Metro Parks, millcreekmetroparks.org, 330-740-7112. And thank you for watching this week's YSN Golf Tip of the Week.
Brian, that was a great shot. It's almost like you've done it before.
A couple times here and there.
When you look at this week's golf tips and some of the things that went into that kind of shot, you know, you like you said, you're not a lot of fall through. It almost looks like it's just you're going back to almost a putt, almost in the sense that you don't want to bring your hands through the thing. It's a hard putt almost when you think about your follow through.
Exactly, and it's it's kind of unique that this golf lesson played this week because I just got off the putting green with a guy probably about an hour ago, and he's like, "Can you teach me how to bump and run it?" and didn't want to tell him. I said, "Hey, that's in our series," but we got him set up, and I think the biggest focal point is everybody tries to loft the club there, and this is probably the tougher of the shots between a chip shot and the flop shot and all of those, because you have to be patient. You can only fly the ball a third of the way there, and you want it to run that last 2/3 of it. So you're going to see the ball hugging the ground a lot longer. You're going to see it rolling a lot longer than a normal chip shot would check and stay relatively close to where you hit the chip shot to. This one's the opposite. You want to make sure that you are getting the club down. And you brought up a good point. Very similar to putting, we want to keep the blade of that club as low as possible on the backswing and on the follow through to ensure that golf ball comes off low and running. The last thing that we want to do is get it up into the air and give it an opportunity to check and come up a little bit short. So, having that low ball flight and a lot of green to work with, I think, is the biggest key. Like what you saw there, I believe we taped that one on hole number 8. So that would have been in front of the green with a back pin. So we have a very severe slope up the hill. So there's a couple variables that were going against us. Number one, we were up the hill. Number two, we had a lot of green to cover. So I'm a big proponent of the quicker that we can get the golf ball down on the ground, rolling towards the hole, it has a better opportunity to going in the hole than it does a chip shot that would be bouncing and hopping around. So, even if we were to hit a poor bump and run shot, we'd still be putting. If we were to hit a poor chip shot, you could still be chipping, or you could blade it over the back of the green. So, talking about being very smart around the green, we want to give ourselves the most opportunity to get it on the green to have that putt for par, whether it be 5 foot, 10 feet, 3 feet, 2 feet. But having that putt, the next shot is going to save you a lot of shots over the course of time. So, a lot of green to work with. The bump and run is the right play there. You want to get something low. And that could be, a 9 iron. It could be a 7 iron. I believe we used an 8 iron in the series there. I even seen Jay Haas 1995 at the Ryder Cup at Oak Hill use a 6 iron to chip and run. So, it's not uncommon to mess around with different low lofted clubs in your bag, but it's one that you really need to practice because you're only hitting at a short distance, knowing that golf ball is going to run 75% of the way, the rest of the way.
And like you said, it's what you're comfortable with. And the only way you'll know that is if you do reps, right? If you kind of do reps with every club and see this is the one that's working for me the best.
Absolutely. I'm a proponent of taking the club back the same distance with each club that you choose and having the club's loft give you the different distances. So that 7 iron is going to give you more run out. It's going to give you, more roll. But I want to make and duplicate and replicate that same golf swing that I can from a chipping or a bump and run perspective. But I want to use the loft of those clubs to get it to go a different distance. If that pin was up a little bit closer, we would have been in 1-9. Up a little bit closer, and I still had a bump and run up that hill, would be a pitching wedge. A little bit further, I would implement the 7 and possibly even a 6 iron if it's a little bit further. So use the loft of the clubs, trust the loft of the clubs, but most importantly, you have to practice that just to get the feel, because you got to be very patient, because there's a lot of run out to it. When you hit it and you're just like a normal chip shot, you hit it 2 seconds later, the shot stopped and you're good to go. With a bump and run, you hit it and you're like constantly waiting and constantly watching the ball roll out to the hole. So, being patient and practicing the shots probably the most important of the bump and run.
All right, Brian, it was a great tip of the week. We thank you as always for all your time and effort that you put in to Ysn Running Point every week. We thank you for your time, and we'll see you next week for another great tip and another great segment with you and everyone at Mill Creek Golf Course.
Thank you. Have a great week.
That was Brian Tolnar, who joins us every week like we do. We thank him so much for all that he does for YSN. And with that, we're going to take our next break. And when we come back, we'll Scotty, you're pretty confident. We'll have Scotty's trivia and more when we come back on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our family's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance. Check us out online at myersfamilyins.com or find us on Facebook.
It's a new year at Acura of Boardman and Boardman Mitsubishi with huge savings on over 350 fully inspected vehicles. We have cars, trucks, SUVs, minivans, and work vehicles. We don't have it, our team will find it. We aim for 100% credit approval with payments as low as $99 per month. And as always, we'll pay top dollar for your trade. For a great vehicle and a great experience, come see why everyone is stopping by at Acura of Boardman and Boardman Mitsubishi.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting, where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education, and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
You know, being able to have success on the football field and the basketball court and just every aspect of, my sports career is now documented. And one of the greatest things about high school sports is to be able to talk about it for the rest of your life and to look back on the days with my buddies whenever we would have some battles, whether it was our rival or just another game. And I could go back and look at it and, not only myself, but my family members, my teammates, and it's something that will last a lifetime. My name is Parker Sherry, and my sports network is your sports network.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Notice we'll have scattered showers on Thursday.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Welcome back to Running Point on YSNLive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig, alongside Ty Bartelli and Scotty Menzer. And Scotty, you said you were pretty confident today, and your time has arrived, my friend, to kind of swing that bat that you brought into the studio.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm gonna be swinging. It's gonna be me swinging for the fences, or if I was on the mound, this is nothing but smoke. Pure challenge to tie.
All right, well, you're down by 3, so you need 3 points today to tie.
Let's get right into it, man. I'm ready.
Go for it. You got 13 minutes. So
okay, let's go. Question number 1 for you, Ty. I want to know who was the MLB stolen base leader during the 2009 season, and also how many bases did he steal?
I think you just picked a random stat, random year, and said, let's go with that. Let's see here. Time, what you think? I'll fact check this one and get the answer for my frame of thought.
Wasn't that the year Jacoby Ellsbury stole 70 for Boston?
I don't know. Is that your answer?
I think that was the year. 2009 is what Scotty said.
2009.
I'm going to say Jacoby Ellsbury 70 with Boston.
He's correct.
Come on, like when you have a that's kind of easy for Ty.
Yeah, that.
Bing, 1 point.
Well, I gotta this one. Let's see if you get this one. I'll be really impressed. I might even fall out of this chair. But
Oh no,
here we go.
It's okay. He's got a seatbelt. We're good.
For the third consecutive season, the Browns will be returning the same head coach, offensive coordinator, and defensive coordinator. I want to know from you, Ty, what was the last time that happened, and also who were the coaches for the Browns?
So he doesn't want just the head coach. He wants the head coach, the offensive coordinator. Who is the other one?
And the defensive coordinator.
Defensive coordinator. So you have to know what year the last time the Browns had all three of those stayed the same, and who were all three of their coaches in that year. So this is a this is a 4 points in the line. You could take the lead right now, Scotty. Oh, actually, you could tie right now if you sweep this one. You're down by 4.
Down by 4.
Remember, we restarted scoring in June, so it's 22-18 because we lost track of the points when this studio got renovated, and I lost the tally. So 22-18, Ty has the lead.
I'm thinking right now. I'm really.
Scotty, I think you got some steam.
I was thinking. Romeo Crennel was the last one I remember being there for 3 consecutive years. I can't recall the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinators though.
And if they stayed with him. And if they stayed with him.
And if they stayed with him.
And what years? I gotta tell you, even if this was a Chiefs question, I would struggle.
I mean, it's a tough one, man. It's definitely tough because Romeo Crennel was there from 2005 to 2008. I know. I don't know, man. I can't think of offensive coordinators. I don't think though that far back. I think 2000. I'm trying to even think of who the offensive coordinator is. I want to at least guess that. That way, if I'm right, I at least have the offensive coordinator's name.
The good news, Ty, if you get the year, you can keep the lead, even if you miss the other 3. For now. But if Scotty sweeps this question,
I think the offensive coordinator. See, I don't know because I know Chudzinski was there for a couple of years too. So I don't know if Chudzinski was there all 3. I think Chudzinski was the offensive coordinator. Defensive coordinator, you might have me dead to rights. I think
Craig
the
Raymond
defensive coordinator. I want to throw a name out there because I want to. If I get it right, I want it to be right. I think it was. He was there at least 2 years. Grantham, I think. Todd Grantham. So I'm going to say Todd Grantham, Rob Chudzinski, Romeo Crennel from 2005 to 2008 is my guess.
Nice try, but no, as
I think
Mbe Mutombo would say.
Did you get any of it right, or is it all 4 wrong?
It's all wrong.
Oh.
The last, it happened in 1993, 29 years ago, the coaches were Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, and Kirk Ferentz.
It's pretty star-studded cast.
So they must have been there from 1990 at least to 1993, right? So that's what you're saying. 93 was the last year they were there.
The last time they had offense of coordinator, head coach, and D coordinator for 3 seasons.
So that was their
3
third season
consecutive
with the same.
Yep.
All right. So there you go. Bill Belichick.
I do feel like Romeo Crennel, Chudzinski, and Grantham were there at certain times. They might not have been 3 consecutive years, though, from 2005 to 2008.
Ty will have to do that research on your own time and see how close you were. Scotty, you're in the lead for the first time ever.
Well,
How? He got 4.
I got ahead of myself. Tied. You're tied. Still for the first time ever. First time since it was 0-0. You're tied. And you have an next trivia question. This is for the lead.
Yeah. This is for the lead for you, Ty. I want to know from you, who is the youngest player to win an NBA championship, and how old was he at the time of the championship victory?
Youngest player, how old was he? So it's a two-parter, 2 points on the line. Youngest player, how old was he? Got to be one of those guys that got drafted out of high school, you think?
I think it was Darko Milicic. I think he was 18 years old when he won it.
Is it 2 points for his tie?
He's got it.
So close to the lead, but Ty takes it right back.
2 points. Ty, he just has a way of making you get that sick feeling.
I know, Scotty. Under 5 minutes, bud. How many more questions can you get in?
So close, yet so
far away.
Okay, here's one. Although this is the one I feel least confident about, but I'm gonna just throw it out there anyway for you, Ty. I want to know what team did the San Antonio Spurs defeat for David Robinson's first title, and what year did this happen?
Ty should get this. Another 2-pointer. 2 points on the line.
I want to say the first time David Robinson won was the 1999 NBA Finals, and it was against the Knicks in a 5-game series, 4-1 for the Spurs.
He went overboard too. He told you it was a 5-game series. That wasn't even needed.
Yeah, he just went for the kill shot.
You can't give me the NBA 2K Legend teams, man. Like those are right there as well. That's one of their legend teams.
All right, Scotty. I think you got time for one more. You're down by 4 again.
One more. I want to know from you, Ty, in the early 2000s, the Boston Red Sox won 2 World Series. What was their overall record in those World Series games, and what teams did they beat?
So Boston's 2 World Series. You want their record and the series total. So both World Series combined is what I'm assuming that Scotty wants.
You want their season, like their regular season record heading.
He wants like the series record, right? Is that what you're going for?
Yeah.
So like
series.
per se, if a team won the World Series in 5 and then won the World Series in 6, they would be a total of 8-3. That would be their record. So kind of like that. What was their World Series record, and then what years did they win? Right.
Well, yeah, their World Series record was 8-0 against the Cardinals in 04 and then the Rockies in 07 because they came back 3-0 against the Yankees in 04 and came back against us 3-1 in 07. So those were the difficult games, but they were 8-0 in World Series games those 2 years.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think he got you, Scotty.
I feel like that meme right now with the dog
This is
in
fine.
the kitchen at the table.
This is fine.
This is fine. This is fine. But
Scotty, you got so close, man.
well played today, Ty.
That Browns question was tough, Scotty. You got me with that one. You got me for 4 on that one too.
Yeah.
Need large chunk plays to beat me, Scotty.
So Ty came in leading by 3. He gave up the lead, was tied, but he ends up with the day leading by 6. The score is 28-22 as a total.
Well, I just gotta get more obscure with these.
You got those big chunk plays, Scotty. You've been getting some 4-part questions on me and getting some big chunks of points.
Big chunks, man.
Big chunks.
Little by little. Rome wasn't built in a day.
You're right.
But it definitely burned down in a day.
He definitely is coming and bringing the heat, though. This score is closer than it's ever been before. He's stumping me every week now, at least once.
He's getting used to what it takes.
Yeah, he knows the level that's needed for it.
I'm gonna have to just come up with more like billiards questions. And what was the other? Was it
rhythmic gymnastics?
Oh my god!
Didn't I?
Rhythmic gymnastics,
curling.
Oh my goodness! Should be a fun time though, Scotty. I look forward to next Wednesday to see what you can bring to the table.
Yeah, I'm. At least this wasn't a good day for me today, but at least I got you on one, and at least I'm still I'm hanging around. I'm within shouting distance of you. So.
One good day away.
Yeah.
I mean, there were what a total of 11 points up to grab today. So you have a good day. You can get 6 really easily.
Yeah, it could happen. Anything is possible.
Scotty's just like Poland. He keeps on fighting back, trying to grab that brass ring, man. And you can check out that little league matchup tonight too. Ooh, that's going to be a great one.
Perfect segue into what is going on tonight on the network and outside the network for teams that we follow. One, we have, like Ty said, in Little League softball, 10U state championship. Episode 6 of Poland versus Austintown. Will it be the revenge of the Bulldogs or will it be a return of the Falcons? Who knows? But right now, the Austintown is 5-0 against Poland this summer. But every game, Poland keeps getting a little bit closer. It was a walk-off victory for Austintown. The last time these two teams met back in the Winners Bracket Championship on Monday, Poland has earned yet another game with them tonight after the win over Wheelersburg last night. So it is one more round between Austintown and Poland. This one for the big trophy, the state championship, winner take all. YSN's guaranteed somebody to bring home hardware, which we're excited about. But we wish the best of luck to both teams. We don't have a horse in the race, and we're gonna see a really good softball game tonight between Austintown and Poland.
We're excited for it. We know YSN team bringing home hardware, so we're cool with it.
Right, we'll take state championships in the summer.
Absolutely.
Also in Little League softball, the regional action between in the Central Region continues. Boardman taking on Illinois' regional qualifier tonight. That is Boardstown, Illinois versus Boardman, Ohio. And that will be on tonight at 7 on ESPN+. Winner goes to the semifinals of the regional, and they would be 2 wins away from punching a ticket to the Little League World Series.
Certainly exciting times here. So let's go, Boardman. We're looking forward to it.
And then we will also on the network have the final game of the current homestand for the Scrappers as they are home tonight again against schedule's upside down. Hold me. They are on. They are against Frederick tonight. They will then go from that tomorrow and Friday and Saturday be in State College. Return home next week for 6 more. So once again, this is a part of the stretch in their schedule where they are home for 12 of the 15 games. So once again, another chance to catch the Scrappers tonight in Eastwood Field against Frederick. It'll also be on the network tonight at 7:05. As far as live games go, it's the only show in town.
And I mean, that's what we look forward to, right, man? We got some games for you too, so we aren't going to be dark. So you have something to watch here tonight on YSN.
Scrappers got the big comeback victory last night, and there is a post-game interview with Homer Bush from Anthony Romo on our YouTube page. You can go check that out. And he always does a great job catching up with not just the manager of the Scrappers, but the players after the big wins. And this is a game last night. Scrappers fell behind early 3-0. They kept scrapping, pun intended, I guess I should say, right, Scotty? That's why they call them the Scrappers.
Yeah.
Keep on scrapping. And that's what they did, and they ended up getting the win last night over Frederick.
And we love to see it too, as Scrappers get another win too, and you need to get out there and support Mahoning Valley while you still can, while they still have games in town and games at home.
They once again, they will be home tonight. They'll be away over the weekend and then back home for a 6-game home stretch next week. After that, though, the games wind down as far as home games. After next week, they will have just 9 home games left in the season for the month of August and September.
I'm excited to see what Mahoning Valley's able to do to close out the season and what some of these new names are able to do to make a name for themselves.
That's a total of 16 games left on the home schedule for the Scrappers. So last chances to see this team for the 2022 season on Friday while they're in State College. We will give away 4 more tickets. Mark Roth won last week, 4 tickets to any remaining home Scrappers game. So we'll have a new question this week, and we'll give away more Scrappers tickets as we go into the month of August.
We gonna look forward to the new question coming up on Friday too, and a new giveaway for Scrappers tickets, 4 seats to any of the remaining home games.
And let's see the promotion tonight as we look at the promotion schedule. Let's see. This is so tiny. July 27th. It is First Responders Night. So make sure to go out and celebrate the first responders of our area with the Scrappers tonight and get out there for another great night at the ballpark at Eastwood Field. Once again, tonight, that'll be on the network. We also have, we'll be keeping a close eye on Boardman softball and the 12U going up against Illinois in the regionals of the Little League World Series, as well as in the 10U softball realm, Austintown versus Poland. Winner wins the state championship. And for 10U softball, that is the big trophy. That is your main goal of the 10U softball. So a lot on the line tonight, and we'll stay tuned and have recaps for you tomorrow as well as Coach John Bayick from Struthers Football and Joe Simon from Liberty Football on the show tomorrow as well. So don't miss a minute of that. We'll be back tomorrow from 12 to 2. Casual Sports Podcast coming up next from 2 to 3. Power Hour got you covered from 3 to 4. And then, once again, we'll be back on the network tomorrow from